Microcurrent is shooting electricity through your face. It can be done at home, but what exactly is it? What is it supposed to do? And if you're going to do it at home or in the office, what should you know before starting? Microcurrent devices have been used for many years, and in professional offices, we use them for facial tightening, for muscle stimulation. They can potentially stimulate collagen and elastin to, again, build up the strengthening and good parts of your skin. There is some scientific research showing that shooting small amounts of electricity into the skin can also improve the ATP production, adenosine triphosphate. That is something your body uses to create energy. It's a really important process, and if devices can stimulate that while smoothing out wrinkles, giving you a little bit of that cheekbone or that line that we often see in the media, gosh, sign me up, right? Well, there are a couple things that you need to know, and today I'm going to show you how to do this at home if you want to, as well as my before and after. This is not sponsored, so you can actually see what's going on and make decisions for yourself. You see, our body runs on electricity. It's actually what makes our heart beat. It's how our body sends different signals. And specifically in our muscles, low levels of electricity can be shot in to kind of tighten them or firm them. If you want to use an analogy, think about going to the gym and lifting weights. You do that to become stronger and stimulate your muscles, but it's a really bad idea to do this to try to exercise the muscles of your face. Now, why is that? Because wrinkles happen when you do that. Think about it. Wrinkles form because we use our facial muscles. Think of your face as a flat piece of paper. If you fold it and open it 100 times, eventually, even if you try to smooth it out, you're going to have a line there. That's what a wrinkle is. And when we smile, when we laugh, when we talk, that's how wrinkles are formed. Botox is an injection that is known for getting rid of wrinkles, but really it's a muscle paralyzer. It stops your muscles from being able to work so that you can't get those wrinkles to set in. So this sounds like a miracle device. This is the NUFACE. They're sold for a lot of money, like $199 to like $400. If you get treatments in a professional setting, I mean, it totally depends on your geography. The pricing is usually between $100 per treatment that comes along with a facial up to like $550 if you're getting additional anti-aging treatments or doing like an hour and a half or 2-hour session. So let's get started. The first thing you want is clean skin, and I need to make sure that I tie my hair back in a headband. This video came about because I did a reaction to Madeleine Petsch's skincare routine in Vogue, and she actually uses this exact device. And I think that there were a couple of things that she didn't do very well and some mistakes that I've seen people make. So we're gonna have some fun. We're also gonna talk about the anatomy of the face and how to save more money because this gel is expensive. And yes, you need to use a gel. So let's start out with that. Microcurrent machines don't just work when you put them on your face. You have to have a conductor, something that conducts electricity. You can't use oil, you can't use most serums, and NUFACE recommends only using their microcurrent gel. This is the gel primer, and it costs like $45. I'll be totally honest, you can go and get Ultrasound Gel. You can go on Amazon. There's a couple of other options that you can leave on the face. The base of it is that you need a conductor. Some people use aloe vera. That's not my favorite. There's a brand called Therasonic, and then there's Gelene. I'll leave links in the bottom if you want to check them out, but you just have to make sure that you're using a conducting gel. The way this works is that you charge it up, and it shoots electricity out of one side and into the other. And when it makes contact with the skin, it actually kind of stimulates the muscle the way you would at a gym. Now, other people have said this shocks their face. It's not supposed to do that. Most of the time, even on the highest setting, I can't even feel it. That is how it is supposed to work because, again, it's a microcurrent. It's not like full-fledged electricity. So I'm going to start off on my clean face by applying a thick layer of this gel to one area. I do one area at a time just so that I can make sure that the gel doesn't dry up because, again, it's expensive. You can use this on both the face and the neck, but personally, I just use it on the face. Get all the way across that zygomatic bone. Wipe off any excess. So I'm just going to start this up, and I like to start on the highest setting. So I'm gonna start right here, and I see a lot of people trying to lock this into their jawbone like this. You don't actually wanna lock it like that. You wanna put it directly on the jawbone, aka the mandible. You see, because it's stimulating muscles, you wanna get the muscles that are here on the face. Specifically, the platysma is one that goes all the way from your face down onto your collarbone, and it's really important to stimulate that muscle. You basically just pull up and wait until it beeps. You have a little muscle right here called the risorius. It's on the side of the mouth, and that's the muscle that actually lets us do this. kind of pull up and backwards along with your zygomatic ones. And that's the muscle that we're trying to stimulate. You see, you cannot use this device on the mouth itself or on the eyes. And the reason why is because the muscles of your face kind of pull this way, but the ones around your mouth and around your eyes are actually circular. The ones around the mouth are called the orbicularis oris, and then you also have the orbicularis oculi. And again, because that goes all around, you can't use them the same there. But I'm just doing this a couple of times. And next, let's focus on the cheekbone. The actual name for the cheekbone is the zygomatic bone, or the frontal process. But that's actually what makes up the cheek. And you do have muscles that kind of extend through here as well. And remember, it's the muscles that we're stimulating with this. So you can actually start by pushing up and holding. And we're just kind of stimulating those cheek muscles. Also, sometimes it can kind of taste like metal. That's a natural side effect. I should be taking out my jewelry, but again, it's microcurrent, so it's not that bad. If you do get tingling or pain, you do have the trigeminal nerve that kind of runs through here. You want to make sure that you're not damaging anything. So if you feel pain, you should definitely stop. But even if you feel a sensation, it could mean that the gel is drying as well. So you may want to apply a thicker layer. Next, I'm going to do the cheek and bring it back and hold by the ear. And you see, just the way you would work out your muscles at the gym without going all day, you're able to train the muscles of your face. Up here, you do have two big muscles called the frontalis muscles, or the occipital frontalis. You just kind of pull up to the hairline and let it sit. You also have some muscles of the eyebrow, such as the corrugator supercilii, which is personally one of my favorites. And that's also what we can try to stimulate right here. Just remember, the eye muscles are circular. You have an inner and an outer. That's the orbicularis oculi, and you don't want to mess with those just because they have that unique round shape. So right here, I'm going right underneath the brow. I'm pushing up and holding. You can also kind of do it on the middle, so kind of right there over the third eye or pituitary, and get the corrugator supercilii. Moving back to the outer part of the brow. The other thing is that there is an optical nerve here, so sometimes you might see little flashing lights. That sounds super scary. NUFACE says it's not a problem, but like in professional settings, I stop or go ask a doctor because, it's better to be safe than sorry. And full disclosure, you are not supposed to use this if you have a pacemaker, if you have metal in your body, if you do have a history of epilepsy or seizures. For those who know, I have been having seizures, so it's better to be safe than sorry, but I also think that being upfront and honest about my personal experience is important as well. But because I don't have a history of seizure disorders and my seizures seem to be a unique case, it is something that I'm doing, and it's something that I'm cleared to do by my doctor. You've also got this muscle right here called the buccinator. It's what allows you to go. The buccinator is one of my favorites, and you can get it by going here to the side, just like this, and holding. Or you can take it from this area on its edge and all the way up, and then hold. Now, the thing about microcurrent that people don't tell you is that it is temporary. I say that it only lasts like 6 to 8 hours. You have to do it regularly in order for it to work. Think about going to the gym and working out your muscles. It's when they're regularly stimulated at a low level that they will permanently sit in that position. But you're supposed to use it, I think, every single day for like 15 to 20 minutes. And then after 4 to 6 months, you can use it like twice a week for maintenance. The ones that are used in office, we have much, much higher currents, and we can actually adjust the current. So in my opinion, those do work better, but this is super safe. You really can't shock yourself with it. This is a good at-home DIY version. And I know that a lot of salon professionals are going to be like, oh my God, don't say that. There's so many reasons that it's not good for at-home use. I think that you should have a right to save and spend your money how you want to. And I think that you should have access to all of the information that's available. And in my opinion, no, it's not the same. It doesn't totally compare. But because you're supposed to do it every single day, it's not feasible to come into an office or a clinic every single day. So that's where the at-home use comes in. And to be honest, it doesn't work until you use it regularly. So even when you're looking at my before and after, it's not a huge dramatic thing, because if I were doing this and actually keeping up with it, you might actually be able to see more of a difference. You can also do the neck. You also have the sternocleidomastoid, which is that muscle that hurts a lot of people. It gets real tight. And then you have scalars. Now, you can only do the sides of the neck. Don't go down the middle because this is where your thyroid is. I personally have a family history of thyroid disorders. My thyroid is something that we're currently looking at from a medical perspective right now, so it's not something I'm going to mess with. But even though I'm not doing it, just know that you can use this on the neck as well. The other thing it's important to note is that your hair is a conductor of electricity as well. This includes eyebrows and hairline. So sometimes that feels a little bit funny. And if it does, I would say just apply more gel. And just be careful of that area. You wipe it off on a towel, and then you just wipe this gel off your face. And again, there are some gels that you don't have to wipe off, that are more like serums that actually soak into the skin. Got gel in my ear. So let's take a quick look at my before and after. Most people say that they can see a strategic line right here and that the eyebrow is visibly lifted. For me, I notice a little bit of eyebrow lifting, but I notice more that it's the hairs that are pushed up. You see, I can just push up the hairs there. You can see this area right here is a little bit more pushed in, a little bit tighter than how it's a little bit more fleshy over here. And again, in the office, we see much more dramatic results. At home, if you don't keep up with it, it's not that dramatic. So I've seen a lot of like, wow, before and afters. I don't think that every single application is that amazing. Over time, you could see results, but it's also like, it's expensive. And if that's not super important to you, what you gonna do? It's not only microcurrent, but like I feel people have to be upfront that it's also facial structure, bone structure, genetics. Also, if you do have Botox or filler in the face, it is going to work on those areas differently because the muscles can contract, but the Botox or the filler can't. I would not use a microcurrent within the first couple of weeks if you've done Botox, just because Botox paralyzes a muscle, it stops the muscle from working, and microcurrent makes the muscles work. So you don't want to mix those two things up. Either way, here's a side-by-side of my face, just true unedited, so you can actually see if there's any differences and make your decision based on that. The other thing that I think is important to point out is that you can change your facial shape just by biting down on your jaw. I posted a modeling video where I explained this. You know, during my years as a model, I had a lot of experience with having to change my face shape. And just the way you use your muscles, whether you're biting down using your teeth or whether you're pressing the tongue to your roof of your mouth, or impact the upper neckline by the hyoid bone or using like the genioglossus muscle, you can change the way your face is structured. So I don't know if before and afters for some of these products are using that technique or not, but if you're concerned about it, please go watch that modeling video because it kind of explains, you know, how the different facial muscles work and how that can impact how your face structure looks while you're activating those muscles. If you learned a little something from this video, make sure that you that like button and don't forget to that subscribe button if you haven't already. There's another video here on understanding chemical peels and chemical exfoliants, and overall, I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.